So for the past couple of years, we've been doing a lot of remote teaching, remote learning, and working from home. If you are in one of those categories, if you're a teacher, if you're a student, or if you are somebody working from home, one thing you're looking for is good audio and video for the apps you're using, Teams, Zoom, whatever those may be. In this video, I want to give you an option of a microphone and a camera combination that you can pick up for under $100 that will give you great audio, great video, and help you get your teaching across, help you as students to be able to see. And if you're working, it's going to help you to be able to connect and look good, sound good. Again, under $100. Stay tuned. Just hit record. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Ken, the content coach. And again, in this video, I want to give you as teachers, as students, parents buying for students, or those of you working from home, a nice, easy, and cheap option to be able to have good audio and video without breaking the bank. So what I want to share with you in this video is a microphone and a camera, two pieces of equipment that will help you. I'm not going to give a super technical review, but I'm going to review it, give you a high-level overview, let you know what I like about it and how I think it'll help you. So what we're going to talk about in this video is the blue Snowball made by Yeti. This is a plug-and-play USB microphone, works very well. We're also going to talk about the Logitech C615 webcam, a full HD, again, plug-and-play, autofocus, 1080p. This is a great webcam for the setting we're talking about. And I think these two pieces of equipment are going to help you get your lessons across the way that you need to, show your notes, all that kind of stuff. Again, for under $100 for both. So let's quickly talk about audio video. If you have been searching for audio video, you can already tell when you go to Amazon, when you go to Best Buy, wherever you go, there are so many options for microphones, for cameras. What is the best thing to select? Now, there are two different types of microphones. There are USB microphones, which are typically plug and play, and there's XLR. I would always recommend for teachers, for students, those of you working from home, to use a USB microphone. With an XLR microphone, you typically need more equipment, and you could spend anywhere from a couple $100s to thousands for a good microphone and the interfaces and equipment you need to make it connect. Now, the cool thing about these microphones is that they are literally plug and play. It comes with a USB cord. You plug that into your computer and you are good to go. You may have to do a couple of audio settings, and there's a piece of software you can install for this also, but you don't even need to do that. This is simply plug and play. Now, cameras are kind of the same thing. These are USB plug and play, the webcams are. So you plug this in, install a piece of software, and you are good to go. This is going to work in Teams, in Zoom, in Google Classroom, and whatever application you are using to teach, to work, whatever that may be. This microphone here, and I'm going to get into these individually, but this microphone I've had for a couple of years. This is what I use for my day job. I do work from home, and this is what I use every single day on Microsoft Teams, and no issues. Everybody can hear me just fine. So let's start with the microphone. Now, the microphone, once again, is the blue Yeti Snowball. So I happen to have the white. They make this in black and white, I believe, are the two colors available. Now, some of the features of this, once again, it is USB plug and play. So out of the box, you are going to have a USB cable, which is really, really long. I mean, this is stretching well beyond the frame. This is probably about 5 feet. So a 5-foot USB cable. So if you have your computer sitting far away from you, you will be able to connect this. You should have no issues with having enough cable to get to your computer. So the microphone itself does connect with USB right here on the back. Now, also on the back, there is a button here, and you have 1, 2, and 3. So these are different pickup patterns for the microphone. So number 1 is going to be direct recording. This is going to be basically anything that's aimed directly at the microphone. And so if you have this mic right in front of you, typically about 6 inches, roughly 6 to 8, something like that, it's going to do its best to pick up only your voice. And this is a really clear microphone. So it's going to block out some of the background noise so that your voice comes through clearly. Now, the second slider on the back, number 2, is going to give you the same thing. It's going to be a direct voice pickup, but it will allow in some more of that background noise. Now, also, you do have number 3. Number 3 here, if you slide all the way over, that's going to be omnidirectional. So now this microphone will pick up from both sides. This is useful for interviews, podcast recording, things like that. Again, in the environment we're talking about, teaching, learning, work from home, you probably don't need that, but I wanted you to know that was available. Now, also in the box, you are going to find a tripod. I happen to like this tripod more. A lot of times when you buy a microphone, the tripod that comes with it is not very good. You can't extend it. It doesn't reach, things like that. This one actually does extend, so you can pull this up a little bit. It will extend to raise the mic a little bit to your mouth. Now, like I said, you do want this to be about 6 to 8 inches from your mouth, so I would even recommend not even using this. Depending on where you are in relation to the microphone, you're going to want the microphone to be somewhere around here, 6 to 8 inches in front, maybe off to the side a little bit, so that you're avoiding the pops, stuff like that, the S's, those kind of things. That would help with that. But again, you do want it more directly in front of your mouth, something like this. This tripod in my setting where I'm at right now does not do that. At my work desk, which is right here, it does work pretty well. I don't worry about a boom arm or anything like that, but I would recommend, depending on your setup, your desk, whatever your workstation looks like, you may pick up a cheap boom arm. I'll throw a couple links in the description, some ones that I recommend. They are very inexpensive on Amazon. And for this microphone, it's not super heavy. One of the lower end boom arms would work well for you. Now you can also install some software. I will link that in the description also, and I'm going to show it here on the screen. So this is a software that you can install. This will give you a little bit more control. You can up the gain on this a little bit. I honestly don't use this for work. I can't install it on my work computer anyway, but it is an option. You can test using this out. I'm going to actually demonstrate this on screen as we go so I can show you the differences in that gain, how that changes the sound. But again, not a requirement. This mic does sound good out of the box, again, for your environment and teaching and learning, working from home. Now, the last thing you're going to wonder on this microphone is price. So on Amazon right now, these are listed on Amazon for right around $40. They have them in Best Buy for around the same price, $39.99, $38, right around there. So that under $40 for a great microphone sounds great. And again, in your environment is going to work well. So that's the price of that. Okay, so let's move on to the webcam. Now, again, just like microphones, there are so many options out there for cameras, for webcams. What do you use? What should you use? Again, if you go to Amazon, if you walk into Best Buy or Walmart, there's going to be several options for you to choose from. Sometimes it's hard to know what to pick up. So the webcam that we're talking about in this video is the Logitech C615 Portable HD Webcam. I have it right here. And again, we're going to do a demonstration with it shortly. So this is, once again, the Logitech. So if you pick this up on Amazon, you're going to get it for right around $50. They do have it in Best Buy, which is where I got this from. Best Buy had it more expensive, but they do price match. As long as on Amazon, it is shipped by and sold by Amazon, they will price match that. So make sure that if you go to Best Buy to do this, you take that. I'm going to link it in Amazon for you here. I wouldn't recommend buying it online at Best Buy because I don't believe that way you can price match. Either way, you're able to get this camera for right around $50. Now, a few other things that I love about this webcam is that this is 1080p, so full HD at 30 frames per second. That's the only option on this one. When you plug it in, that is what you're going to get. There's no option to change that, but that's good. 1080 is what you want. That is full HD. It also has autofocus, so if you're showing papers or notes or something like that, you can hold it up to the camera and you're going to get good autofocus. I will demonstrate that here in just a second. I love that in this camera. For fairly an inexpensive cost, you are getting autofocus and you're getting 1080 full HD. Your students are going to see you. They're going to see everything you need them to see. Again, both of these options, the camera and the microphone, for under $100 combined. Great deal. This is the combo I would definitely recommend for those settings. Okay, so at this point, those are the technical specs, the prices, how they work, all that stuff. Let's jump right into a test. I'm going to hook these up and we're going to test so you can see what this looks like and sounds like. Let's do that right now. Okay, so this is now the view that you have from the Logitech C615 webcam and the sound from the Blue Yeti Snowball Ice. This is a good representation of what you can expect to get out of this. Now, you may have to tweak a few settings depending on your background, your lighting, things like that. You can use a cheap ring light from Walmart, from Amazon. I will also link that in the description if you need to pick up a light. But you can also use your area lighting that you have in your office, in your room, whatever you may have. You may need to adjust lighting and adjust settings to make it look this clear, but this is definitely more clear than using an onboard camera on your Mac, on your laptop, whatever that may be, and using the mic built in also. Now, one more thing to speak of is that the Logitech webcam does have a built-in microphone, but again, this is going to give you better sound, clearer sound. Your students, your workplace, your teachers, they're going to hear you much more clear using an actual USB microphone such as this one. Again, I think this is the best option for the price. This should be sounding good, and I'm not going to edit this. I want you to hear this exactly how it came through the mic into my recording so that you get a true representation of what your audience is going to hear. Now, there are a few things you can do to tweak some settings. When you first plug it in, it may not look great. You can tweak settings to make it look as good as what I have it looking right here. Again, I can't stress enough, for the price of this webcam, I think this is a great picture. So let's take a look real quick at the software for the camera and the microphone. So if we go look at the software, so first up we're going to look at the software for the camera. Let me bring that down so there's no confusion. So this is the software. Again, I'll link this down below also for where to download this from. But this is the Logitech camera settings app, which works with this webcam. Now, when you first come into the software, you're going to see 2 tabs at the top, home and advanced. You can change from standard to widescreen to give you a view. This is what standard would look like, so it's going to draw you in a little bit closer, or you can go widescreen, get the full view of your room. You can also set anti-flicker, NTSC 60 and PAL 50 Hertz. Now, oddly enough, when I set this to PAL, I get the best look out of this. NTSC is typically what you would set for North American hardware, but PAL 50 Hertz is what I set it to, and this gives me the best picture. Now, we can also go to advanced, and advanced is where you can change things like your color, your brightness. So we can slide this around, you can see that change. We can change the color intensity all the way down to black and white. We'll keep it right about where I had. Contrast, which will change. There we go. So let's take that back a little bit. I think right about there is good. And then I would recommend for white balance and autofocus to leave those set auto. Basically, if you turn those off, you can change what this looks like. You can set that also. I would just go auto on these webcams, and then same thing for autofocus. This is going to change the focus, so you can slide that accordingly. Again, I would leave that to auto. And those are the camera settings. Now, if we go on to the mic, let's get that back up. So this is the Blue Sherpa software. Now, again, as you can see with the Snowball, really the only option you have here is mic gain. Right now, I do have it set to 75, and you can tweak this. What you're kind of looking for, you want to make sure that your audio doesn't peak. So you can see the slider right now is going green, kind of grazing in that yellow area. If we take that up too much more, then you are going to notice that now the audio is getting up into the reds. You don't want that. Let's bring it back down. That's called clipping, and that's going to come across sort of garbled. So let's bring it back down. We were right around 75. I think 74, 75 in that range is going to sound great. We can even come back down a little bit more. Let's come down to 65, and we can see what this sounds like. So now we are just kind of hitting those yellows a little bit, green into yellow. This should be very clear. Again, I think this is going to sound great in your environment for your students, your teachers, your work from home. This is the mic I use every day when I'm on my day job. I think it's a great option. Now, one last thing that I want to quickly cover is autofocus. Now, remember I said leave the autofocus set to auto. That's going to give you the best autofocus without you having to worry too much about whether it's focused on your face or on what you're showing. So what I'm really impressed with is the speed and the clarity of this autofocus. So if I was to show, let's say that you're talking about a book or showing notes to your class, check out how fast this autofocus works. So as soon as I bring it up, it focuses on what I want to show. Bring it back, it's going to change the focus. I think that autofocus is great in this camera for the price. And this is what I have for you. So do me a favor, down in the comments, let me know what you think about this microphone, about this camera. Again, for teachers, for students, for working from home, I think this combination is a great option. I'm going to have both of these linked down in the description below so you can pick them up from Amazon. So I hope this helps you. Again, this video is mainly for teachers, for those working from home, for students. I would not recommend this camera for YouTube videos, for content creators, things like that. This video is more focused on teachers, working from home, stuff like that. But for that environment, it's great. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. If there's anything I can do for you in the future, check out my website, kenthecontentcoach.com. Everything is linked there that I have going on. You can also reach out to me, Ken at kenthecontentcoach.com. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, hope you guys stay safe. Remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Just hit record, and we'll see you next time. Later, y'all.